remember the Superman comics? There's a thing called kryptonite that could take Superman down.
Yeah,
remember
sure.
Superman kryptonite? And there was like green kryptonite and red kryptonite.
Oh. Yeah, I'm not really
Not
that
familiar
up
with
on
that?
it.
Yeah. Green kryptonite was the normal stuff that would just weaken Superman. The red kryptonite was the unpredictable stuff that would do strange things to him, like change him into another form. I bring this up because physicists have discovered an unknown crystal that they found in the grounds near the Manhattan Project's Trinity test
Oh, yeah?
that happened out in the desert. That was the first atomic bomb that went off.
Okay.
Well, when it went off, it was on this big tower. It was a big tower that held the bomb, and it completely vaporized the tower and everything that was in it, and then vaporized a lot of the desert nearby, all the sand in the desert, and then created this new crystal in the sand called Trinitite.
Wow.
Trinitite, 1,500 degrees Celsius, 2,732 degrees Fahrenheit.
First time ever found on Earth, huh?
It just aerosols all the metals that were in the tower, and that included hundreds of pounds of copper wire that were aerosoled and vaporized.
Wow.
So the geologists in the area have been finding weird reconfigurations of the desert after it melted and reformed again. The Trinitite is probably the best known material that they found, and most of it's green, like in green kryptonite. And there's a little bit of Trinitite that's red. And they just figured out that the reason why they have red Trinitite is because of all the copper wire that was vaporized during the atomic blast and became part of the crystal.
I see. So it's part of the explosive apparatus.
It was a result of the explosive apparatus. It was a clathrate, a crystal that forms a geometric lattice work that is capable of storing other smaller molecules inside it, like a nanoscale cage. And from this new discovery led by an Italian geologist named Luca Bindi, it represents a new type of calthrate structure that actually has some magical properties.
What kind of properties does it have?
These crystals can act like a little parking garage, storing lithium ions within lithium ion batteries at the beginning and the end of charging and discharging cycles. Think better batteries. Red Trinitite.
Well, how common is Trinitite?
Well, it's very rare, but if it really works, if it really allows us to have
maybe we could start
better
manufacturing
batteries,
some.
we could create
Just
Trinitite
have
through other
some
mechanisms.
nuclear explosions on a nearby satellite planet where it's already hot.
Now you're thinking, it's
batteries.
a true entrepreneur here. But it underscores how rare high energy events like nuclear detonations, like lightning strikes, like hypervelocity impacts from meteors, all these are natural laboratories for producing new things. In this case, unexpected crystalline structures.
Wow, it gets you thinking what it's going to be like when we've become a solar system civilization, where we can take advantage of different kinds of temperature situations on nearby planets and moons.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, it's like the Egyptians melting metal and glass near the volcanoes in the Sinai Desert, taking advantage of the volcanism.
This is silicone creating cages that are dodecahedrons, which are 12-sided. This is Carl Sagan's dodecahedron idea.
Yeah.
And inside you have the lithium atom captured, or it could be copper. And based on what's inside that cage, it has a different color when the light goes through it because of the crystalline structure. It diffracts it with a different color because of the whatever molecules inside that cage.
Oh, that's cool. Red if it's copper and yellow if it's gold or something. So the physicists have just discovered this?
They just discovered this, and they're looking at how it responds to electronics and storage of information. And who would have known that the first atomic bomb would create a red Trinitite with copper in it to make a better battery? Who would have ever thought?
I mean, what's interesting is, you have copper on one end and you have lithium on the other. Their outer shell has a different number of holes in the shell that would either attract electrons or not, whether they're filled or not. And so electrically, it could have some very interesting properties.
Yeah.
And remember, red kryptonite.
Okay.
On Dead for Superman.
But,
Where we started.
Isn't krypton, isn't it an inert gas? I should look on the periodic table.
All right, now let's ask
If
Ara.
it's on the
We'll
far
leave
right.
off.
Question for Ara.
Yeah,
Should
see
I
if
bring
she's
up my
going to
picture of Ara.
Hey, Ara, could you tell us what was the difference between red and green kryptonite, and what did red kryptonite do to Superman?
Red kryptonite was unpredictable. It gave Superman different powers or weird personality changes every time, like turning him into a giant or making him evil. Green kryptonite was simple and deadly. It just drained his powers and could kill him.
Did Lex Luthor ever get a hold of the red kryptonite?
Yeah, in the comics, Lex got his hands on some artificial red kryptonite from Mr. M.Z. Spitlick. It didn't give the usual random effects, though. It straight up stripped Superman of his powers, letting Lex beat him up and toss him out powerless. Superman eventually tricked Lex into spilling the beans about MZY, which broke the spell and got his powers back.
Oh, that's right. Is that the guy that had to spell his name backwards? Get him to spell his name backwards?
Yep, that's M.Z. Spitlick, the little purple-suited imp from the fifth dimension. Superman always had to trick him into saying or spelling his name backwards to send him back to his own dimension. Drove the guy nuts.
Okay.
Okay.
So you look on the far right column, and you'll see Krypton there in the middle.
Yeah,
Far
Argon
right.
above it and Xenon below it.
Yeah. I wonder why they selected that for his planet. I mean, he came
Krypton?
from a very
Kryptonite?
stable, inert gas.
I don't know. That's a good question. I wonder if there's ever was any scientist at DC Comics that thought that stuff up. Hey, Aura, the kryptonite in Superman, where did they get the name? Was it from Krypton in the periodic table of elements? Was there
Noble
any
gas.
connection between the periodic table of elements of Krypton and kryptonite? What do you know?
Yeah, there's a direct connection. The planet Krypton was named after the real chemical element krypton on the periodic table. Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster picked it when they created Superman in the late 30s. The element was discovered in 1898 and got its name from the Greek for hidden, which kind of fits a distant doomed planet. Kryptonite, the green rock, came later, first on the radio show in 1943, then comics in 49. They just took the planet's name and added "ite," like how you name minerals. So it's all tied back to that element. But it's not like they based the weakness on Krypton's actual chemistry or anything. It was just a cool-sounding word that fit.
Yeah, I guess it's back in those days, kryptonite or Krypton. It sounds pretty cool. It sounds very alien.
Yeah.
Yeah.